how a tree stem grows that thick compared to the branches, exactly like how your bones get thicker when you get older. If you look at a baby, the bones are very small. They keep adding layers after layer after layer, as we are going to see now in the branch of a tree, how the tree resembles exactly the strategy of a human bone. But here you can see the trunk composed of, my side I can see 5 sections. If you go to the top here, you can see one section, 2, 3, 4, 5. They fuse together. But you have to follow the tree from the beginning. When the tree is very young, like this tree, how does the tree get thicker and thicker and thicker? Let us forget about that for now and see the anatomy of the tree. I just cut it by the saw. When you cut tree in my age, because I work 14 hours as a truck driver, so you sit down for a long time. When you cut tree, you get exhausted very quick. You can be exhausted for almost 3 or 4 days. When I start working on the trees in the first few days, I get so tired the next day I can even sleep anywhere. Cannot even open my eyes. So you have to work a little by little, take breaks. Breaks means you can leave the work for a few days and you work on your base. Whenever you feel good, you can come back to work because your body have to have time to adjust. Your anatomy have to change. Your muscles, mitochondria, your heart, nervous system have to change. Let us start from the most beautiful scene you are going to see in your entire life. This is the section I cut. This is at the end of that part. That is in contact. That comes from this part right here on the tree. Let us look at the cross section first. It's very beautiful anatomy. First, generally speaking, you're going to have the skin, the outer layer, followed by a white layer, which I don't know the function for it. The last time I studied botany was almost 1975, so I forgot exactly what every part of the tree does. But you can tell here's the skin, then you have a layer under the skin, like the subcutaneous tissue. Then you have another layer, white, which probably a lot of physiology goes in here for this white layer. Then here you have layer after layer after layer after layer. Then you come here to the center. And if you look from a distance, you can tell the here is very, very hard. Then it is also develop layers of like glue between them. How long does every concentric layer takes? I don't know, but you can do that, of course, if you do if you wanted to do investigation on it, if you wanted to put it under the microscope, you can do that. So this is the general situation now: a skin, a layer under the skin, a white layer goes around, and circles depend on the age of that part of the tree. When you go to the longitudinal cross section, longitudinal means along the branch here. Here is the white layer, here is the skin, and those go along the axis of the branch. Put it there. I really hate to put it there. I love this part. It looks so beautiful. Look here. I think that cracked because I did not cut it by the saw. But you can tell it is concentric layers. You can tell every layer is separate from the other. This is one layer, another, 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 another. That is the thickness of the layer. And And if you look at here, you can tell the layers are distinguished. Concentric layers develop the add to the outside. That is like the human bone. So let us, when we come, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to the end. We'll start from here. I did not disturb the sequence yet. I will take him inside as soon as I cut him. It takes so long to cut him. This is the first section you cut. What is that portion? That's like an artery going from this way. It looks like an artery or like some kind of connection channel of circulation. It's one here, that one here. Maybe this where the branches are. If you look from, it doesn't look like that. Because if you put two branches next to each other for so many years, they are going to fuse. They remodel and fuse. It's like when you put a skin graft, take it from one place of the body to another. So that will remodel itself. So those are not permanent structure. This can change over the years, such that the branches can fuse, which means mingle with each other. You have to cut a section at a branch like here. I cut this section. The branch comes from. Here is the branch. If you look here, the white part here's where I cut. Here where you can see. Here is where the branches start forming. This is the branch. This is another branch forming from the stem. It will go outside. If you cut it with a saw here, you can do more study on depth, how that thing bulges out. You have to have a growth center. So this part goes this way. So here is what happened in the white part. It seems like it can generate new stem with new center and the concentric layer, and it gets thicker and thicker outside. Who determines how many branches, where the branches should go, how thick the branches are? The DNA. Here is the branch which is dead, it's broken. Why it didn't grow? There is some reason why it didn't grow. What are the reasons? We leave them for now. But this is a neat part on how the branches branch out of the main tree. This is section number 2. You see anything unusual here? You don't see a lot of unusual things. You might say here is, well, no distinguishable branching in here. You go to the next section, or getting away from the tree stem, which you can call it distal. Here you can tell the layers are separated a little bit from each other. But there is still white layer. Skin is thicker, and there's a dark layer inside. But the dark layer also has another white layer inside here. Let us go here. It is a distinguished situation where the white alternates with the brown, in a very distinguished way, and the center is on the side. This is the center. So why does it do that? I think it does that to balance the branch. When the branch goes outside, it puts weight on the tree. So the tree shifts the center of rigid part this way, because if you look at here, you see the wide part here is thicker, and it is thinner this side. When it is thicker, I think when it is thicker, it means there is a lot of growth. When it grows, you have the wide part grow, whether it is nutrition or whatever biochemistry it does, but you can tell here the center of this part shifted this way. When you go to this part, the center is almost in the center. When you go all the way in the back here, close to the tree, the axis, the center will shift a little bit from the circle, the center of the circle. Here it broke, and you can tell the longitudinal part broke along a cylinder. And here the circles, you can tell there is a process here. This is most probably a branching process. This is the branch started and it goes this way. So most probably the DNA have to direct something inside the tree to disturb all the layers in order to have a new growth of a branch. What do we call this part that starts a new growth? I don't know, at least I can just film it and let you think about it or investigate it. But there is a branching process, or what you call it, neogenesis. And when you look here, you can tell there are branches here starting. This is cut naturally, right here. This is branching from inside. Are these arteries and veins or channels of water? But there are channels here, you can tell. There is a channel here, there's a channel, and it goes all the way here. This is cut without a saw. It's just cut by slapping it with a hammer. Here is a branch here. Here is the white part is thicker than the dark part, but the layers are distinguished. The same skin, white layer, and the concentric center. Here is an interesting branching process. Look here, here is a branch. Most probably it comes from the center and it keeps moving out and it generates new layers. It gets thicker and thicker. But this is the beginning of a branch. If you cut here with a saw, you can figure out how does the branch start. And here's another branch in the bottom. And there is a thicker branch that came from the side. Let us just follow the branch to the outside. This is neat, nice. Very circular here, ellipsoid a little bit. And when you take that branch, here you can tell the white part is much thicker than the dark part. Almost the white part is almost area by area is almost no less than 3 times. By diameter, almost 2 times. If you compare to the beginning there, it's different. The ratio is different. So this is a small branch. Here, very interesting. no dark score at all. These are soft wood, did not develop. If you compare this wood right here to this wood, this branch developed the bone. This branch like cartilage did not develop. It is developing. It is developing, but it is not very dark. So you can even twist that with your own hand without a saw. Here we are coming to the terminal. It's almost the bone. The wood is center. The dark part is centered, but it's still concentric circles or contours. And there is branching activity here also. And this is a side branch. It's branched to the side. The white is bigger here than the brown. Further outside is the terminal. The white, well, it seems like the white and the brown, all of them are concentric layers, but inside it deposits some kind of glue or certain that makes the wood very hard, like epoxy or some kind of that nature. Let us go all the way to the terminal. That is more circular than ellipsoid. It's a very small terminal. At the very end, close to the outside, this one has no dark circles. This one has started having a very tiny circle. That is all about the anatomy before I put things away.